Hello, everyone. Welcome to the May 7th, 2014 edition of the Stiff Oddcast. We're here with Andrew Hunter. Andrew Hunter, how the fuck are you, man?
I am doing great. Got a glass of grapefruit juice in my hand, man. I can't complain.
Oh, grapefruit juice. So, but why that particular fruit?
I actually love grapefruit juice, man. Here lately, I've been kind of on a health kick, man. I've actually completely cut sodas out of my diet.
I did that for a while too, man.
I can't blame you. Can't blame you on that.
I kind of slipped this morning and had a monster, but other than that, man, I haven't had soda in about a week or so. So it's a little rough for me, man. I'm a Pepsi guy, so it's kind of rough.
You're a Pepsi guy.
I am a Pepsi guy.
Oh my God, we're gonna clash already, man.
Casey's a Coke guy.
I'm a diehard Coke guy, dude.
Hey, man, Coke's all right, man. If I can't have a Pepsi, I'll have an RC. Fuck Coke.
Oh shit! Oh damn it!
Finally, I didn't think that was ever gonna come.
Oh, there's Adam Hunter getting a CM Punk Pepsi plunge on.
Hey, I have used the Pepsi plunge.
Okay.
All right.
On Nick Depp, one night only, 2012. I was with a group called Defiance. When we come out, we beat down the Flight Club, and I gave Nick Depp the Pepsi plunge.
Oh
wow.
Shit! Yeah. Speaking of Nick Depp, we caught the show. I think that was in April at Livermore, and he main evented with Chris Waddell, and it was a really good match.
It was good, man.
I've actually had some pretty good matches with Nick Depp.
Yeah, man, he looked good, man, at what he was doing, and the crowd was into it. Of course, he was friendly.
They love Nick Depp in Livermore. He is the king of that place.
Right. So when he steps in,
I will give him that. We've had our problems. He is the king of Livermore. But actually, like the first show we done in Livermore, me and Nick main evented.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. What year was that?
It was Balance 2013. It was my second to last show before I left.
Okay.
And me and Nick main evented.
Cool.
The first show over there.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I was running strong with the Church of the Misfits at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You talking about the Misfits, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they?
Josiah, Malachi. We actually had Zebediah at the time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because we have a buddy, Darren Thompson's part of the Misfit Malachi group. I didn't know if it was the same one or not.
It is actually, yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
And that was actually partly my brainchild, actually. Like, because when I first got to WWA, like, I wanted, because I started doing the Misfit Messiah gimmick when I was in Defiance.
Okay.
And just slowly got into the crazy deal. And I went to the powers that be and was like, look, we could start this stable, and I could start my own church. Kind of like a Raven Flock kind of deal.
Right.
Not a rip-off, but, it's kind of the basis of the idea.
I was about to ask what
we kind of done our own thing. I actually based a lot of my body of work was based on horror movies.
Okay.
And, like, the church is kind of like, you're familiar with the movie A Clockwork Orange?
Oh, yeah.
Stanley Kubrick.
Classic, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Sort of that deal mixed the Lost Boys a little bit.
So the Droogies and the Lost Boys. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can totally see that.
Didn't Corey Feldman in the movie? Is that Corey Haim?
Corey
They're both in that movie.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, both Corys. Let's make sure Corey squared.
Both Corys are there.
Corey Feldman actually went on to do the 2 sequels, because the other Corey died, but
yeah,
Corey Feldman went on to do the 2 sequels, which were okay.
I never seen them, I don't think.
They're all right. The second one had a killer soundtrack.
Okay.
I got you.
But the third one, it was all right, man. I mean, it's just not the same. I mean, you can't recapture the magic the first one had.
No,
especially if you don't have.
I mean, it's a cult classic for a reason.
Right, man. That's why I love movies like I guess it's not a cult now, but Evil Dead, Killer Clowns from Outer Space,
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad.
But the original Evil Dead, I would consider it a cult classic. I mean,
Yeah.
It has its cult following. I mean, that's why you had so many people mad about the remake. Which I thought the remake was good. The remake was scary as fuck.
I liked it.
Me too. I'm a dude. I am die-hard Evil Dead fan. Like, I'm talking about, I got the posters, bought the movie 6-7 times.
We have 3
and
action figures.
I thought it was good for what it was. You know, it's they didn't fuck it up, I guess.
I don't think they fucked it up.
Yeah, they didn't fuck it up per se. It was just a reimagining. That's all. Like a lot of people with the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, I loved it.
I haven't seen it, man.
Because I went into the mindset of, hey, this movie, it's going to be different. It's supposed to be grittier and scarier. It's not supposed to be have that camping feel.
Right, I guess.
But they did throw a lot of references to the franchise, which I like.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the original Nightmare on Elm. I haven't seen the remake
yet. I still haven't watched it yet.
You should do you a favor, man. But you got to go in with the mindset of, hey, it's going to be different.
Right. I know.
And I'm a big Jackie Earle Haley fan. So
yeah, I liked him as Rorschach.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And also,
that's what a lot of people know him as. But I mean, he's been in some other good flicks too. I can't name them right off my head, but he's been in some other good flicks.
He recently starred in Elysium with Matt Damon. The same dude directed District 9. Neil Blomkamp directed it or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's a good flick as well. I like sci-fi movies too, but actually, my forte as far as movies are horror movies. Like actually, a while ago, I was just watching Maximum Overdrive.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, dude. Stephen King.
They actually just put it on Netflix. I was excited because like 2 or 3 days ago, man, I went on and I was like, I want to watch Maximum Overdrive, and it wasn't on there. And they just like added it this week with the new update and everything, where they add the new movies and take movies off and shit.
Yeah.
They actually just put it on there, man. I was stoked as shit.
Dude, I like that movie. It fit. Okay, the name of the short story that's based off of is in oh dang it. But okay, the name of the story is called Trucks, and Maximum Overdrive is basically page for page the same thing, and I was thoroughly impressed with it. I love that movie.
I do too, man. I haven't watched it since I was probably about 12 years old. The first time I ever seen it, I was like 5 or 6, and I remember deathly being deathly afraid of bridges.
Yeah.
After I seen that movie, I was like 5 or 6 years old. When I got a little older, I was all right. But I will tell you, the movie that scared me the most as a kid was a Stephen King movie. It was It.
Oh yeah.
It is still freaky. It's always, every time I've seen it as an adult, even just about half of it, it just kind of fucks with your head a little bit, man. And Tim Curry.
I'm a big reader, too, which a lot of people don't really know. But, I mean, a lot of people really don't know a lot about me, but I'm a big reader.
So have you read have you read It?
I have. I own the book It.
Okay, that book
is long. It's actually signed by Stephen King. I actually own the book. And got it signed by Stephen King, which was awesome.
What the fuck,
wait. Did you meet him, or did you send it off? What happened there?
I actually got it when I was in the Marine Corps. I sent a letter or whatever to him saying, yeah, I'm in the Marine Corps, blah, blah, blah. And he actually sent me the book.
Whoa.
And we'd actually exchanged a couple of letters. I have them somewhere. I think they are in a storage building somewhere. I'm not really sure. That I'd actually sent him a letter and told him I was a big fan, that I was in the Marine Corps, and he asked me, and he sent me a letter back saying thank you, and asked what my favorite film was. And I actually sent him back and said, I like the movie Hit, but I prefer the book much better. And he actually sent me a signed copy of the book It.
That's awesome.
Which is also in the storage building with that stuff. I own another copy that I actually read.
Right.
Like, I have my books that I read, like, more than one.
So do you prefer paperbacks or hardbacks, man?
Hardback, man, because I read books so many times that they fall apart.
Right. Yeah.
I actually learned my lesson with buying paperback books. I bought the first Mankind book when I was in middle school.
Oh, Have a Nice Day.
And I bought the paperback because I was a kid. I actually grew up kind of poor, so whenever I get allowance, man, I'd save it up, and that's what I would. And I got books. Not until I got in high school, and TNA really took off, and they had their weekly pay-per-view, and I would actually spend my allowance on the weekly pay-per-views instead of buying books.
Right.
I got you. You're talking about, wait, you said TNA, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that was back when I think they had the most promise, man.
No, I'd have to disagree. I mean, yeah, they didn't really have a good product. They put on stellar 5-star matches, but the product storyline-wise was not a good. Actually, I think they had the most promise when they first got the Spike TV deal, and they had a lot of story, and they got a few of the WWE guys, like they had just signed Christian Cage, and Jeff Hardy was there at the time. That was during his first run there, and I actually thought that was when they had the most promise.
Right.
Yeah.
I can see that.
It's, to me, it's always like, this is what happened with WCW, man. There were too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. If that makes any sense.
Well, there was
it does. Like I'm not really anybody to speak on that level. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never been to that level yet.
Right.
Working on getting there, but they and the second time I was like, man, I could really get into this. It was 2010 when they first got Hulk Hogan. Had they run the stories and stuff that they were running and just stuck to Thursday night, I thought it would have been great. But the fact that they tried to go head to head with Vince on Monday nights, I thought was a big mistake. But if they were running the stories and stuff and just kept it on Thursday nights, I think they would have done real well.
Yeah,
right.
And also, what kind of killed that was the fact that WWE didn't even acknowledge that TNA was going to try to start the Monday Night Wars again. So if got one side just being like, it doesn't exist, it doesn't work out. You know.
Right, yeah. Like when you got one side in the confrontation, the other part kind of like, I don't even know who you are. That it kind of creates a problem with that.
Yeah, big time.
It's like, to me, man, I guess I still kind of am. I love TNA, big fan. What really sold me in TNA the most wasn't the fact that it had Sting or Angle, and even though they're awesome wrestlers, man, the X Division is killer. They have some awesome wrestlers, dude. Like, their spots, man, those guys are hungry.
Yeah, they're very hungry.
But if you remember, it was right after they got the Spike TV deal is when those AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels match happened.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Right after they got the Spike TV deal. That's what I'm saying. Like, the X Division was real strong at that point.
Right.
And they, but yeah, it was, I mean, that was a good time. They had good matches.
It just kills me, man. It's just like, I do not want them to compete head to head with WWE. I do not want them to be like WWE.
They need to be their separate entity, man, and they need to go back because I mean, pretty much now they've crushed the X Division into obscurity. Yeah, and they only revive it like once a year for Destination X.
Yeah, for pay-per-view, and that's it, and then they're done. Like, because I like Zema Ion, dude. I know might get a little shit for that. I thought he's awesome. Austin Aries.
I think he's talented, and I am a big Austin Aries fan.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
dude.
he's good. Yeah,
he kills it, man. And I don't know, the X Division is just full of like this awesome. And to me, man, it's just like the most hungry indie wrestlers. Seems like that's where they showed up at, was the X Division. I don't know.
Well, at least in that weight class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for cruiserweights, the young folk.
Speaking of that, growing up through the heyday of wrestling and becoming part of wrestling yourself, how do you see the indie scene now?
There's a lot of promise on the indie scene, and the only problem is it's hard really for guys to break that glass ceiling. And, there's so many guys on the indies, man, that it's like, man, they could go up at any time. But, I mean, wrestling got away from the size thing. And, right. and it's a matter of the work rate at this point. Kind of like the mid-'90s was. I mean, you had Bret Hart and you had Shawn Michaels that broke through. And we're kind of getting back to that point. Not so much the big guys as it is the guys that actually
have talent.
know what they're doing. I mean, you got like Daniel Bryan, Austin Aries is in TNA, Eric Young's in TNA, and I haven't really kept up with TNA a lot here lately, but I believe he's still the world champion over there. I'm guessing y'all would know a little more than I would about that.
Who you talking about being world champion in TNA?
Eric Young.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he still is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, I'm trying to think.
And I said this for a long time, even when I was in high school, and really just a mark. Like, I always said that Eric Young was the most underrated guy in TNA.
I got you.
But I don't feel like now was a good time to put the belt on him because of the whole Daniel Bryan situation in WWE. And I see this a lot. Like they copy a lot of what WWE does, and
it fails. It just doesn't work.
And it fails. But like I feel like that's the only reason they put the belt on Eric Young.
Yeah,
is because of the whole Daniel Bryan situation. They're trying to capture on that underdog thing that WWE is doing. And TNA just really needs to do their own thing. Get rid of these older guys and focus on their younger talent. I mean, you got to look at how many guys they've lost here lately. Like they lost Jay Lethal a couple of years ago,
right?
And they lost AJ Styles, and now they've lost Chris Sabin, and and they lost Alex Shelley a few years ago.
Hey man, so also Christopher Daniels, man, he's done. He said fuck it, he's gone now too, man.
Yeah, and I think Kazarian went with him, did he not?
Yeah, his contract apparently expired just like maybe a couple weeks after Christopher Daniels did. So,
but I told this a while back when this whole Jeff Jarrett promotion stuff started.
Right.
When people first started talking about it, I was with a couple of my buddies that I travel with, and they and we all said it. Like, you're going to see a lot of those Jeff Jarrett TNA guys leave. Yeah. Like, I don't see it being too long before Bobby Roode leaves or James Storm.
Oh, dude, it'd be over, dude. It would be, damn it. The only thing they would have is Samoa Joe.
They can just reform the Beer Money tag team straight up in an angle with Jeff Jarrett.
I love the Beer Money tag team.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they could totally do that. The door is open now. It's a matter of whether Jeff wants to walk through it or not, you know?
But, I mean, you got to look at all these guys in the Ring of Honor now.
Oh, like
Jay Lethal's over there. Chris Hero's back in Ring of Honor.
Kevin Steen,
Adam Cole's the world champion.
Wait.
And I'm going to say this right now. Like, Adam Cole will be the next guy. Will be the next big indie guy that's signed.
Okay, wait. Say his name again.
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole. Okay.
Yeah. He'll be the next guy that gets signed. And see, like, one of the biggest deficits to, like, TNA's tag division, and that's another thing that they had on everybody else. They actually had a tag division that was good.
Yeah, it's worth a fuck.
But they kept letting these guys go. I mean, like, you had the Young Bucks, Generation Me. They let them just walk out the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shortly after that, Sabin had his injury, and then while he was gone, they let Alex Shelley leave. They weren't. This team wasn't a great team, but I mean they were a tag team nonetheless, and it was Inc.
Yeah. It's
and they let them go, and they split up Beer Money, and
which is all right because Bobby Roode by himself is awesome, dude.
Yeah, they're both
James
good.
Storm. I love James Storm by himself too.
Yeah, they're both strong.
It's just they were a good tag team, and that's one thing this day is missing is tag team wrestling. See, I grew up in that Attitude Era, and you didn't really have a lot of tag teams until like 2000.
Right.
And then you had that's when the Hardys really busted out, and Edge and Christian as a tag team, and
then the Dudleys hopped over.
And then you had the miscellaneous tag teams that would form out of DX. Most notably, of course, was
that
New Age Outlaws.
Yeah.
You had the staples.
And you had APA.
Yeah.
And, you had all these good tag teams, man, and I love tag team wrestling. I've never really got to really dabble in tag team wrestling,
right?
But I've always enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
that's one thing I would like to do is to really get into some tag team wrestling. Like I'm a singles guy,
right?
But I feel like being a part of a tag team would be a good experience,
right?
Because I mean you really do get close to your tag team partner. I mean that you travel with him, and
yeah, it's a different psychology.
Yeah, And plus, it's kind of like it's the equivalent of playing in a band. The performance becomes a band performance because you're playing against, the other, instrumentalists, so to speak, in this case, the other performers.
Yeah, and you got somebody that's got your back,
Yeah.
Right.
And my experience is, like, I was a musician. Again, something not a lot of people know. I was a musician, like, from when I was in high school up until I was in the Marine Corps. And up until really point, like, that the wrestling bug really bit me. It bit me at a young age, and I always wanted to do it. But the opportunity presented itself that I was actually going to be able to do it.
Right.
And that was the point when I was like, I love music, but it's something I can revisit one day. And getting trained to wrestle isn't always going to present itself.
Right.
That's true.
Because it relies a lot on your physical body as well. So.
See, it's like Alan and I started off just being super fans of wrestling. And we trampoline wrestled.
We used to wrestle in our living room like every day.
And then, we never had that that opportunity presented to us to become wrestlers. So we just naturally went through our natural avenue, which is music, and that's the bug that bit us. It's
more or less, yeah.
And I'm a big music buff, man. Like, and I also put when I was in the Church of the Misfits thing, I put a lot of references to music, like lyrics and stuff. And
right, what instrument did you play? Was you a vocalist or did you play drums?
I was a vocalist.
Gotcha. Crudely explain, how could you compare your vocal style to like an artist?
I kind of really have like a punk, kind of hardcore style.
Okay.
Kind of like a Hatebreed or Lamb of God.
Okay.
Bands like that is what inspired my music.
Okay.
Like, I enjoy, like, various kinds of music, but I was always really big into the punk scene.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I'm a big Misfits fan, obviously. I love the Ramones, the Sex Pistols. And even here more recently, man, I've kind of got into, like, the Murder Dolls, Wednesday 13. I actually have met him a few times, like, outside of concerts and stuff, because I was stationed in North Carolina, and that's where he's from. And I've actually met the guy on a personal level a couple of times.
Are you serious?
And he's a real cool dude. He's kind of an odd guy, but it was real cool.
Yeah, see, it's kind of cool to have that happen. To actually get to meet someone that you're a really huge fan of. Sometimes
actually, I did not become a huge fan of theirs until I met the guy, because growing up in a small town, I didn't really have that exposure to a lot of the underground stuff. And but as far as the Misfits are concerned, like, one big thing that bothers me is, like, all these people that wear Misfit shirts that don't even really know who the band is.
I know, right?
I know, they just buy it because there's a skull on it.
And it
t-shirt.
looks cool. To me, man.
And the logo looks cool, and it's awesome that merchandising, like, that they're selling all these shirts, but a fan standpoint, it's kind of like, fuck these posers, man. And
yeah, because I went through that a lot, man, because a lot of my favorite bands kind of been, I don't know, kind of shit on, but what gets me more about it is the fact, if you ask them a question about, like, what's your favorite Misfits album, or what is the first Misfits album? It's a blank stare, and they don't know anything about the group.
Because they don't listen to it. They've never
or
listened.
Or if you go up to somebody want a Misfits shirt and you be like, you like the Michael Graves era, or do you like the Danzig era?
Yeah,
right.
And actually, personally, like, I may get a lot of shit for this. I'm actually a Michael Graves fan. I do enjoy the Danzig era stuff, but I prefer Michael Graves as a vocalist.
Was Michael Gray on American Psycho?
He can actually really sing, and my favorite Misfits song is actually from the Graves era, and that's Dig Up Her Bones.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Alan asked a question.
Is Michael Graves on American Psycho, that album?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that album.
And I believe it's either that or Monsters Among Us that Dig Up Her Bones is on.
Okay.
It's one of those two. I'm not really sure. But it had, I know Monsters Among Us had the intro of Kong at the Gate.
Okay. I feel you. Trying to think what is my favorite Misfits songs without sounding default, because I got into a lot of horror punk bands, quote unquote. Like there was this band called Cancer Slug. You know, they kind of fit into that group.
They're out of the Midwest, I think.
Yeah, they're Midwest.
Cancer Slug.
Oh God.
We had a few buddies of ours that were in a band that was very similar, inspired by the Misfits, called Throat.
Yeah, but nowhere near as good. I mean, we like the dudes in the band, but you know, they didn't.
But there's a local band in that area called Further from the End, and I actually used one of their songs as entrance music at one point. It's called The War Within, and I actually got hooked up with them guys. I actually was working a job for Purdue, hanging chickens and stuff, and my supervisor was actually the lead singer of that band, and I was just really getting started back into the wrestling deal, and he was like, yeah, y'all do entrance music, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, here, I'll write you something. So that's where The War Within came from.
That's awesome.
And I actually used it after I left the WWA for a little while. But, I mean, now I use a song called Take Me Away by 7 Days Away. And it's actually from the Punisher Warzone soundtrack.
Yeah, you know, I still haven't seen the Punisher Warzone. I thoroughly enjoy the Thomas Jane one, though. The first one. I haven't seen. Is Warzone any good? I mean,
I enjoyed it. I'm a comic book guy too.
Cool.
And yeah, and so yeah, I enjoyed it. You know, and a lot of people are like, oh, what's with all these reboots of comic book movies? Like, you got the new Amazing Spider-Man series, which I enjoy better than the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie.
Oh, man. Crossing paths again, dude. That Pepsi talk. And he bashing Sam Raimi, dude. He can't do that. I'm just joking with you, man. Just messing with you.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched Amazing Spider-Man movies. I just have no desire to. I think it's too soon. I don't know.
It was a little soon.
Well, my thing is, like, the first Spider-Man movie was good, and the second one was good. But I mean, they tanked so hard with the last flick.
Yeah,
that
it was
balls.
bad.
That it's like, come on, like you completely failed on the most iconic villain.
I know.
In the Spider-Man franchise, like you tanked with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, what do? You have to reboot at this point.
Yeah, because they shit the bed on that.
I wasn't a big fan of Tobey Maguire. Like, I liked him as Spider-Man, but I didn't enjoy him as Peter Parker.
Okay. Yeah.
And you get that a lot with characters like Spider-Man or Batman. Like, you have to have a guy that can capture both sides of things.
Right. Superman's the same way, but Clark Kent, you know.
Yeah, and to me, my first Batman I ever saw really was Michael Keaton. He's a fantastic Batman. Christian Bale's the best, though. You know, Christian Bale's the man.
Mm-hmm.
He was. I was not a big fan of those movies, however.
I didn't like the third one.
They were good. They were good, but I was not a big fan. And what really got me was in the last film, the ending sequence, when you had the guy from Third Rock from the Sun become Batman, and
yeah.
He had to use the code name Robin, and he wasn't even Dick Grayson.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going with an updated. It did have some comic roots, though. I'm not really sure where, but it's like really late. Like
I believe it's The Dark Knight Returns. It was a more darker, grittier.
Frank Miller, yeah, dude.
Yeah, and Long Halloween and stuff like that, and The Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke was an inspiration. That's also Alan Moore wrote that one, and that one's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my favorite comic book character is actually Deadpool, and I was actually a Deadpool fan before he got this cult following that he has now. I was actually a Deadpool fan like after I played the first X-Men Legends game.
See, what sold me on him, man, when I was a youngster, I guess it was probably like 98, 99 or something, I would get X-Force comics. That's where he started. And I just thought he fucking looked cool.
He looked really awesome.
Well, I thought it was cool as shit when I unlocked him in the game, man. I was like, fuck yes, man. And maybe in X-Men Legends too. I don't think he was on the first one, but he was in the second one. And I think that was the point when I was like, dude, he's badass. He's a fucking ninja. And little did I know he had all this background that was really interesting. And I actually have a Deadpool tattoo.
Hell yeah. Dude.
Awesome, dude. So are you aware of the Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe story arc?
Yeah.
Oh man,
dude, it's awesome.
I want to check that out, man. Like I go in and out of comics sometimes. The modern comics I have a difficulty with. The Civil War story seemed interesting.
I dug the Civil War, and this is why. Like that was a good chance for Marvel to reinvent itself.
Mm-hmm.
And because you always had DC doing these story arcs for everything cross, like the Final Crisis.
Or Infinite Crisis.
And Marvel had never really done that.
Right. Yeah.
And then they done the Civil War, and you had everybody like choosing sides.
Yeah, and see, I did enjoy that. I haven't read every issue. I think I've read probably the first 12 issues, and I was down with it. But I didn't finish them, not because they were bad. It's just like my general disinterest in comics at the moment. Like comic movies have been pushed down your throat for the past fucking 5 years or so. Like big.
Some of them are really good. Some of them are just not hitting anybody's spot. It's a hit or miss thing, I guess, like any genre of film. But I'm still hoping that the original source material shows some sort of life in the next 10 years because that's where it came from.
Actually. A movie I'm really excited about is actually the Ninja Turtles film. And, like, all of people are like, fuck that. It can't be any worse than Ninja Turtles 3. I'm just saying.
Oh, God. Turtles in Time sucks fucking cock.
Yeah, the Turtles has been a hot topic on the Oddcast here lately. I think every person we've talked to in the past couple
have an opinion on it.
And, I'm going
in optimistically. Like,
Okay.
I will go through this film because, the Ninja Turtles were a big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of ours.
Being born in the 80s and growing up in the early 90s, man, we had the Ninja Turtles cartoon and the Ninja Turtles movies were coming out. And, and
the games
the first movie I ever remember actually going to the theater and see was Ninja Turtles 2.
Yeah, go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Which is probably, in my opinion, the best Ninja Turtles movie.
That one kicks ass.
The first one was great.
Yeah.
The second one, I thought
you got Casey Jones in that motherfucker,
and, hey, man, not only that, but you got Big Daddy Cool in that movie, too, man.
Kevin Nash is Shredder in that motherfucker.
He's a super shredder.
Yeah.
Which is awesome, man.
Which I didn't actually know until, like, the last, year or so that he was the super shredder.
Yeah.
And that just was another bonus,
Yeah, because it kind of, like, far as, like, your childhood and to what you eventually got into as you started growing up more. It's like, damn, wrestling? And that too? Combined together? What?
No way!
Yeah, you got the Ninja Turtles and you got Kevin Nash in that motherfucker, and it's great.
Yeah.
And Vanilla Ice, man.
yeah, dude.
He's too cool.
That was like my first audio cassette I can remember owning was To the Extreme.
Yeah, I had MC Hammers, man.
And we had we would rock both of them out like we were the shit because we had Vanilla Ice and MC Hammers fucking cassette tape.
The whitest
rap. Well, here's the first album I remember owning was the Space Jam soundtrack.
Space Jam.
Come on, get up and start a dance now.
Fucking R. Kelly's in
that motherfucker. I rocked that damn Space Jam album like I was the coolest shit on the block, man.
Dude, that was a big deal, man. Yeah. That was about 96 when it came out, I think. 95, 96, something like around that period.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember I was young, and I actually got the cassette tape. It's a CD. I actually got the cassette tape for Christmas one year.
Hell yeah, dude. Speaking of that, I don't know if you've seen this or not, Andrew, but Sony has went back to cassette tapes in a weird way.
Yeah.
They have developed a cassette that can hold 370 Blu-ray data DVDs on 1 inch of tape strip. So
wow.
Yeah, it's like I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? They're bringing the Walkman back to compete with the iPod? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, man. I mean, technology always goes full circle.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it comes back to the good stuff, man.
It comes back to vinyl records and just, real shit,
I love the sound of vinyl.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
dude.
there's a lot of, like, stuff, like, now they're bringing out new albums, and they're like, yeah, we'll release the vinyl, and I'm like, fuck yes. If I had a vinyl player, dude, all day, I would buy these vinyl records because I like the way they sound. I like the grainy sound, and I like the fact that it feels real.
Yeah, and plus when you when you buy an album, you feel like you actually spent
Bought
some money.
Something. Yeah, yeah.
You don't, and that's my problem with buying MP3s is like I don't really feel like I bought anything.
No, you just bought some information.
And that was it.
You just bought some data.
Which is an intention. Andrew, we're going to take a quick break here. We're hitting the 36-minute mark, and we'll be right back with the Stiff Oddcast with Andrew Hunter.
Suck it.